volcano.
Yo, what is up, guys? Dark Pro Gamer YT here. Welcome to the 106th episode of the MP Tune Review series, where today we are looking at this, which is the new car, and the gap filler for the S-Class, finally. But you're probably now thinking, Dark, did you whale that? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, I was really hoping to get lucky before I hit the full amount. Unfortunately, I didn't. So I have now whaled my second treasure rush. Never again. If you're wondering what the first one was, it was the Deus when it first came out. Anyway, this is the Czinger 21C, which I have tuned at 1772. The tune that I did is 1-6-10-10. Which is actually a very good tune for it. So let's go over the stats here for it. The top speed is alright. It is 477, 478 kilometers an hour. It sometimes hits 479. The acceleration is bloody impressive. It is 2.062 seconds. Holy shit. That is quick. Now, the handling is semi-stiff. The drift is good, but I will say there is a little bit of a noticeable wideness to it. But it's manageable. It's good. Now, the nitro efficiency. Get a load of this. So the triple nitro is mid, but the perfect nitro is excellent. And if you remember my Sterrato, which lasts 19 seconds, this lasts for 20 freaking seconds. It lasts longer than the Sterrato. Holy crap. Now, see, the Czinger has a lot of, mixed opinions on it. To be honest, I like it. I kind of like how it looks. I do like the style of how it's built. I love that it has a huge wing on it. I like the unique taillight on it here. You know, overall, it is quite a nice design for it. It's interesting how it's a single window kind of build. It kind of reminds me of the Razor Tachyon Speed, because, singular, two seats that are lined up in a single line instead of if two seats were on the sides of each other, which is a cool kind of build for any cars that do that. It's overall, like I said, very nice looking. I do like the wheels. The rims are pretty nice on it. The mirrors are actually, they're kind of fitting on it. But, overall, it's quite a nice design. And I am f***ing happy that they filled the gap finally. Thank Lord they did it finally. And it's an absolute W they made it upgradable. I'm happy. So without further ado, let's take it into multiplayer and see exactly how it does. And we'll talk at the end of the races to discuss my final thoughts of its performance. And here we are with my final thoughts for the Czinger 21C at 1772. It's pretty good at this rank. You know, despite its higher stock rank, it still competes very, very good in this rank. Now, here's the big question you're probably going to be asking. Because you remember one of my videos before, can it dethrone the 765 LT? Here's my blunt answer. Absolutely fucking not. The 765 LT will still dust this thing in this rank. That does not mean it's not worth tuning for this rank. It's still very, very good in this rank. But the Czinger does not dethrone the 765 LT at this rank. That car is still a fucking demon in this rank, and it is still the king of tunes in this rank. Like, God. Broken that thing is. Anyway, back to this one. You know, the issues with that triple nitro is definitely a drawback a bit, but the perfect nitro saves it so much. You know, the handling being semi-stiff is a little bit of a negative on it. You know, the drift definitely does save that. You know, also with the punch drift, that also saves it. You know, the top speed, you know, expected for like one with a high stock rank like this, it's not like too bad. You know, it's within the range of competitive for tuned cars. Overall, I do say this car is a good choice being tuned here. It does all right. It's, you know, if you can manage those things that are a little bit of the drawbacks on them, this car is fantastic in this rank. And as I said in the beginning, it is an absolute W that they finally filled the damn gap. That has been absolute PTSD for most of us now, because it was always 1862 and then to 1864. There was no 1863 until now. Fucking fantastic. And the thing is, it's another W because they made it upgradable. You know, instead of just, you know, making this an ultimate rank car, which to me is an absolute W. Because, like, but it's like, they really did. It does seem like, now, is it worth trying to whale the treasure rush for it? No. Yes and no. But in my opinion, no. I think it's better for like an offer between, like, you know, like the Chiron 300 plus, so like $49.99, between $49.99 and, like, I hate to say it, like the 75 range, but mainly I think like between $49.99 and $65.99, around that range would be the best for this. But knowing Gameloft, they would probably do it at like $75.90, the 75 or $74.99, whatever the heck it is. So, yeah, that wraps up this MP Tune review. I thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next review. Peace out, everybody.